everybody.
Everybody, including Doug. Hey, we are one Italian down today. Free Day is in Italy, so
Yeah,
but
we're like an Italian sub without our meatballs today.
you took the words right out of my mouth.
I thought you were
Hey,
thinking that.
exactly what I was gonna say. That's what I was thinking. But it's cool.
It's cool.
This is cool. I actually would like to do more of these because I just feel like sometimes this happens where we can't all be there and
Yeah.
and it's just this is what happens sometimes. And today we wanted to do so there was some hot news that happened. Let me take out that banner actually at the bottom. It's still saying that we're about to start.
Coming
There's
in.
hot news that happened this past week, kind of in a way that was on Reddit, and it's kind of like a dog. It's very very dog boobs heavy info. So
Right
I
up
was
my
like, you know what?
alley.
Let's just fucking do one on it. Let's do an FPR.
Let's do
Talk
it.
about Crystal Rogers
Crystal Rogers.
and the information that came up from there, and then just generally some other FPR stuff. I feel like this week has been a little. I've noticed that it's been one of those weeks where Reddit has become a bit of a galvanizing force
Ooh.
again. Like you have seen all of the this sub it wants Reddit to take action against misinformation. Have you seen all that?
Yes.
And this always
What is
happens,
that in response to? Do we know? Like,
I don't know if it's
specifically one thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess before we do it, this is Did You Reddit, a weekly podcast about the internet by way of Reddit, the front page of the internet. My name is It's Your Dad. Can you hear me okay? I'm using my strange mic. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm dog boobs.
Sick. And then my Free Day, not here with us today.
Not here.
Reporting from Italia.
The motherland.
The motherland by himself with no microphone. But anyway, yeah. So today, front page review. We're going to talk about some of the things that were happening, have been happening this past week. Like I was mentioning, I've noticed almost every subreddit, down to the subreddits that I care about that are extremely specific, that don't really have anything to do with like Reddit ecosystem. So like the Browns subreddit, right, which I pay very close attention to.
You love
have
the
also
Browns.
posted this statement. And I don't really understand why. And we might be trying to figure out why in real time, which I think is totally okay. But let's see. So we call upon Reddit to take action against the rampant coronavirus misinformation on their website. I'm going to pull this up. This is the top post of this past week currently.
Damn.
Which is serious. So with 180,000 upvotes. So it's a pretty fucking big mamma jamma. So everyone on this planet has been affected by coronavirus, yada yada.
There's some weird stuff about this.
Really?
So yes, this is the post, huh? So I googled what was going on about this, and a Forbes article came up actually.
Wow, look at all these subs that are doing it. This is crazy. I mean, this is
wow.
What I love about this is I love it when Reddit does this because everybody has their own little community and they're kind of in their own silos, right?
Yeah.
Heavy agenda. Welcome Spakaman and Boom King. So everybody has their own silos that they function in Reddit, where especially if you're not a big Redditor, if you're not doing a goddamn podcast about it every week, then like you're probably not going to a bunch of them. Most of the time, you're just like you kind of go to your like Financial Times bullshit. You go to Browns, you go to Gunners. Like those are the two I check.
Big on the Browns, big on morbid reality. You know, you got reality.
Yep. But you don't go to all of them. So I always love when all of Reddit comes together with statements of solidarity that sometimes are very, very specific to the internet, which I think is also very interesting here. It's a little less like we believe in Black Lives Matter, right? Which is an important cause that everybody collectively in the world was all about. But Reddit, of course, felt like that in a lot of ways, but I feel like it's almost always something that has very much to do with the internet. Like the
Yeah.
Amy Challenor thing was one of those, right?
Yes.
Like that was one where a bunch of subreddits came together and were just like, we don't want this fucking person on the Reddit team, right? And then
Totally.
I think when the Ellen Chow, was that her name? Ellen
I think
Powell,
so.
Ellen Chow?
Ellen Powell.
Uh, Ellen Powell, the woman who was joined the board that everybody also didn't like, or she was the president.
Yes.
It was a similar thing where like a bunch of subreddits came together at once for this cause, which is just really interesting. And so the latest of which is we call upon Reddit to take action against the rampant coronavirus misinformation on their website. So what were you saying, Dog, that you found,
Interesting.
you discovered stuff?
This is so I found a Forbes article that's kind of about this from 3 days ago, and it says Reddit moderators demand the platform take action. So basically, like, to recap what you just showed us, is a group of volunteer moderators who oversee a lot of those message boards that you listed are the ones that have like kind of put this together, basically saying like, here's this huge letter, here are all these examples of Reddit users misinterpreting facts about the vaccine being ineffective or even dangerous. That sometimes this disinformation that's like running wild can be deadly, such as this bizarre practice of taking cattle dewormers to treat corona symptoms. So like, gross. Like, who's thinking of this shit? So the open letter states that the disinformation on Reddit attains an air of legitimacy through sheer volume of repetition. So that's accurate. And so far, Reddit, I mean, has Reddit responded? They didn't respond to the Forbes article, the Forbes request for an interview, but it just brings it back into kind of like what's so interesting and frustrating about Reddit to users is that like it is still like an aggregator at the same time. So it's like a lot of people like call to demand this action because of how hands off Reddit is, but I mean, it's a pretty big deal. This could be something that, maybe they'll pay attention to. They have in the past.
Right. Crazy. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I continue to be confused at why people give a shit at all about the goddamn vaccine. I don't understand. I'm just like,
No.
why? Like, we take so many things.
So many things.
Like, I don't know what's in my goddamn Yeti mug right now. It
Fuck
says it's
no.
coffee. I got a bunch of stuff that I put in there, but it also has other bullshit, right?
Oh, yes. I drive
up
into my parking lot like every night with a sign that says like built with materials known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects. And I'm just like,
I know.
just getting home. So it's because it's been like politicized by our fucking teams, our two big teams.
It's too big. Go green.
Go green. Go green.
Brown.
Go brown.
But you know what? I agree, and I don't want to turn this into a ranty rant about vaccine stuff because everybody's doing it anyway. But it just is interesting to me again where things like this come back up. Yes, and of course the Boom King now, by the way, is bringing up the fact that it is FDA approved officially, the Pfizer vaccine specifically. So I do know that I have some friends who previously were a little bit like, I'm not getting the vaccine. It's not fucking FDA approved. It's an emergency approval. We don't know what's in that shit. It could be broken, right? And so, which to a degree, I'm like, listen, there's a lot of things that aren't FDA approved that you consume all the time. But you know what? I'm just going to give this to you because I don't really want to think about it, right? And now it is FDA approved. So
it's funny to be like, to me, the people like, I know. I mean, here's the thing. We are reliant on things like the FDA to like tell us if things are safe, even if it's a bullshit, kind of, I don't know what you'd call the FDA, like a department. Well, it is a department, but it's kind of like we're worried about the government. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just confused about like what people are thinking, like the government's putting 5G trackers in the vaccine, but also listen to the government FDA because I'm like, do we trust them? Do we trust the government? Do we burn the government down? What do we
Yeah,
do?
I don't fucking know. I mean, I always come down to on my like resume portfolio website that I use for like my career.
Hmm.
I have a line on it that at the very end of it it says I just wish I had more time to play video games and fish. Right.
Yes.
And that's kind of like every time I think about this, I'm just like, I just want to go
I'm
fishing
like,
or like
yeah.
just play
Like, I
video
can't
games.
get mad about
Why
this.
do we care about? I don't
No,
understand. And so, yeah, I mean, we put a bunch of bullshit in our body. I grew up in basically a fucking toxic sludge factory to begin with, so
true.
I already am already surrounded by that shit. I mean, I got a letter in the mail the other day. I get these letters in the mail all the time. So for anybody that doesn't know, I grew up in the rural southeastern Ohio corner on the Ohio River with West Virginia, and there have been a series of documentaries and films about DuPont deliberately poisoning my water supply growing up for my fucking childhood. And then there was a massive lawsuit. If you haven't seen it, there's a film called The Devil We Know. That's a documentary. And then there was a Mark Ruffalo film that came out shortly after called, I want to say, Dark Waters or something
Dark
like that.
Waters, yeah.
And so that's about it. That's about my hometown. And I was in that
Damn.
lawsuit. And so all of this to say, I got a letter in the mail the other day that was like, hey, just want to let you know, like you can still get those free like tests for your liver potential having
You
cancer.
lucky duck.
I know. And so I am, I get all this shit. So there's this part of me that's like, grow up. Grow
Yeah.
up, people. Like, come on.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that.
just
That's,
funny.
I mean, it must have not been like, I'm trying to think, like when I got a letter in the mail recently for like, oh, you had an iPhone at the time that like
Yeah,
Apple
totally.
said we were going to make, iMessage obsolete if you didn't get the new. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, $3.95 from this class action lawsuit right into the old bank account. But I think like poisoning your water's probably got to be a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean, I got $500 to give my blood to this class action lawsuit when I was 17. And I think I probably signed a document that said if by giving my blood at that point, I'm never going to get anything from it.
Right.
Um, and I was like,
And
hell
you're
yeah,
like,
500
I'm
bucks.
17,
I'm a,
500 bucks.
I'm a millionaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, all that said, like going back to the Reddit point here, is my internet sketchy right now? I'm seeing myself choppy a little bit. I can't tell if it's me or what.
I think
Um,
vision or like the visual, you're stopping every now and then, but audio wise, I'm
okay,
not hearing any interference.
cool, love it. But anyway, so the Reddit post though is basically like we are calling on Reddit to get rid of the misinformation. It is complicated. We know that Reddit has a pretty complex stance on this, right? Which is,
Right.
you at the end of the day, you cannot shut down the spread of info. You want people to be able to do what they want to do, right? And like
Right.
places like conspiracy are filled with bullshit, but that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all about free thinking and open your mind and like what if JFK was assassinated by the great, right? which
Yeah.
is which is important. And I think that like there's a place that Reddit is important. Um
I do too.
and and so I
It's
don't
kind of
think
like it's
it's
towing this line of like, is it dangerous letting it go
yeah.
rampant like this?
Well, yeah, and also there's it's just we as a society haven't quite figured out what to do with like the tyranny of thought, right? And I'm all of a sudden I don't want us to become like some fucking Matt Taibbi podcast. Like this isn't fucking Joe Rogan. That's not the point of
Yeah.
this, and that we're not saying like take the fucking vaccine. Like I take it. It's made to help you. Like I don't not take it, right?
No.
But all of that said, I do think that it's very complicated thinking about what is and isn't considered valid information for dialogue, and what do you do when people post bullshit in Reddit.
Yeah.
In theory, it's a place where people downvote the bullshit and they go, that's not fucking true, right?
Right.
Like that's kind of the point of the platform. Now, if that happens on a mass scale on something like the the conspiracy subreddit or something, I don't really know how you clamp down on that, because it's a little bit of a, if we are saying that this information is not it, like this being a lie is not correct, then what do we do with something like we're in the middle of the soccer transfer window, so I'm constantly looking at transfer window information,
Okay.
and I'm sorry if my video is all fucked up. I don't know what's happening here. I think maybe I don't maybe it has something to do with I don't know what's going on. Maybe my computer's exploding.
Oh
Let me
shit.
let me close a couple things. Maybe it's like overheating or some bullshit. Um, but anyway, so but I follow a lot of soccer rumors, and in following those soccer rumors, there's always tons of shit that's just not true. It's like fake news, right? Like literally
Yeah.
fake news. People are like, agents are putting up information that's not true, and then people look at the information, they go, "Oh, yeah, but I heard that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to Manchester United or whatever," and it just isn't true. And I'm just
Right.
like, it's less damaging in theory, but if the whole idea is that there's a fluid spectrum of what is and isn't true and what is and isn't damaging, I'm kind of like, shouldn't we shut it all down? Like, shouldn't we shut all the not true information down?
Right.
So I don't know. It just becomes a bit complex because the vaccine is so serious and so important,
Yeah.
and the coronavirus information is so serious and so important. But then, who is the person that is in charge of saying what is and isn't important? You know?
Yeah. It's weird. It kind of reminds me a little bit, this issue, something we talked about a long time ago, Masnick's impossibility theorem, which is
Yeah,
about
exactly.
how like content moderation at scale is just not possible to do well. And
Right.
it actually led me to another interesting theorem I've never heard about called Arrow's impossibility theorem. And
Throw it
like
up.
that
Throw it up on that
that
board.
one, yeah, let me throw this one up. This is kind of interesting. This kind of makes me think about one of the issues with Reddit in general. Is like,
Right.
so basically in this, Arrow's impossibility theorem is a general possibility theorem stating that when voters have three or more distinct alternatives, no ranked voting electoral system can convert the ranked preferences of individuals into a community-wide ranking. So like basically it's impossible. Like I want to find a way to like kind of basically like individual like preference ranking is impossible to translate at like a big community level. So it's like when your entire platform is based on like a ranking system, I can see how at a certain point you have to be like, need someone to step in a little bit here.
Crazy.
Interesting.
That is fascinating, and that I feel like is both the best part of Reddit and the thing that Reddit is constantly in battle with, right? Like,
True.
what do you do about that problem?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just the latest example of this, quite frankly. I mean, this isn't really new. But like I said, it's the top of Reddit right now, and it's a big deal. And even like I mean, this was the thing with the Donald and shit. And I think the vaccine also just presents. I mean, if you listen to this podcast and you watch our stream, you know now that, like, particularly I am really interested in kind of these grander philosophical implications of the internet and what's happening, right? That's
Right.
just kind of where my head goes and all this stuff. And I think that the vaccine has also presented this really bizarre um, idea that the binary continuum of what who and the of the archetypes of people that would believe in something.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of go, oh yeah, obviously people that are into MAGA aren't going to be into the vaccine because, like, makes sense. They love freedom, right? But like
I love freedom.
we've seen that completely break down through this process, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody has somebody they know that is like not going to take the vaccine. You kind of go, wait, what? Like you? I thought
Right.
you aren't you like
I thought you
aren't
were
you like
legit.
fucking a Jill Steinhead? Like, what the hell's going on here, right? And they, for some reason, it's just broken down the barriers of what we think are archetypical
Yeah.
belief systems, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Which has been
Yeah,
fun
man.
to watch. Confusing.
Hey, a lot of fun.
Yeah,
A lot of fun. Glad I got my vaccine when I did. Because
I
now
know.
it's like I don't need to worry about it. If we're gonna get birth defects, I'm gonna get some birth defects. It's over.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I got it.
yeah. I mean, this also reminds me. I think I've mentioned this on the pod before, and then we're going to move on from vaccines. But this reminds me of when weed was only kind of legal in the United States or in California. Do you remember that when it
Yeah.
was like,
Yes.
you had to like
You
get
have
a
a
medical
medical
card, and like,
card. You
yeah,
have
you
to
like
go to
walk
a
into
witch
some
doctor
fucking
on the side of the street
yeah,
in Venice
yeah,
to get a
exactly.
card.
Yeah, what do you do, man? Oh, I'm a podiatrist, but like they took away
But
my
like,
license for some fucking bullshit, dude. So what's wrong? Oh, you got a back problem? All right,
yeah,
here's your card.
cool.
Right?
Here's a
Like
weed
that
card.
was literally how it happened, right? And
It
so
was.
I remember back then where I had some friends who were like smoked mad weed, but were like, "Oh, I don't want to get my card. I don't want to be on a registry or something."
Yeah.
I was
I don't
just
want the
kind of like,
government to know I'm smoking the wacky
yeah.
tobacco.
And it was one of those things where I was like, well, you know what? Like, fair, but all of my friends smoke weed and all of them have cards. So if
Right.
I get busted on this government watch list for having a card, I'm gonna be like, oh, Jimmy, oh, Jerry, hey, Ashley, oh, you guys are all here. Oh, this is
Hey
fucking great then.
guys. Oh my god,
Yeah.
good to see you guys here. Yeah.
Oh, well, this is a cool place to be spending my time with my friends in this fucking government weed prison, right?
Yeah, it's like
So
awesome. This California wide sting worked perfectly. So
yeah,
many
exactly.
people opted into these fucking cards that mean nothing. It's like,
Right.
don't worry, guys. No one cares that much. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I get like the hesitance from the point of view of like there's still people in prison in this state for like
Yes. Of
having
course.
weed on their body. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust the government either. And maybe if I wasn't, somebody who hasn't been fucked over by the government a million times, I wouldn't be like,
Right.
or maybe if I was someone who'd been fucked over, you know what I mean? Like, I
know what you're
get
saying.
some hesitance, but I was all for it. I'm like, put my name on that list. I don't care.
I know. Same. Yeah. So a couple really quickly from the chat. So Brennan Music asking, there's a really funny thing happening in the chat right now, by the way, which is just brings a tear to my eye. So first of all, Brennan's Music is California city by city as far as recreational weed goes. No, it is legal across the state.
You
But
can
every
go,
city,
you can grab it whenever you want.
yeah, every city though has their own rules or like where they want to put them. Some are like we don't want more than one weed place in our city. Some are like bring it on. It's a
Right.
little complex. I think weed law in general is just really complicated. I don't know anything about it. I actually don't
Yeah.
smoke weed. I like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad it's legal, and I will go and I'll get edibles every once in a while. But I just find I'm so pent up with anxiety all the time that
That
like
you'll just kind of like spiral
yeah, I'm
sometimes.
like I smoke like a little bit of a joint, and then
You're
I'm
like,
just like, yeah, but what if Rick and Morty's real? Oh, I can't.
oh
Ah!
shit.
Yeah. And so I
Yeah.
don't I get really nervous sometimes on weed. But yeah, it's legal. What's happening on our chat right now? So we have like the all stars of the Did You Reddit chat going right now. Music and Dr. Spakaman, and they're all like not really listening to our show and just chatting amongst themselves about their lives. They're like, "Hey, yeah, I was thinking about playing video games this weekend, and
Love it.
I'm just like, you know what? That's what we're here for.
Yeah. It's like bring everybody together again. What are your
Fucking
weekend
find.
plans?
You know
You
what?
know?
This is a form of friendship, is what it's for. That happens to be talking about the internet. But anyway, all right. So let's move on from that. That's a big thing on Reddit right now. Follow the story. I haven't seen any. This may be like Kathy and Hoda level. It seemingly is if it's already on Forbes.
Right.
But we're gonna
Yeah, Hoda
probably
owns the
see.
Forbes.
She owns Forbes, yeah, Hoda Forbes.
Hoda
We're gonna see
Forbes.
more. We're gonna see more things like that, though, and I think hopefully they course correct on some of those issues. Here's another thing on the front page I saw that was hilarious. Kind of pertinent to this. So this is from Funny, 139,000 upvotes from CNBC. The headline is Reddit users are the least valuable of any social network.
And you know what? I love us for this because we all fucking hate ads. We hate commercials. We have entire subreddits devoted to all the commercials and ads that we see that we fucking hate. So it's like, no, Reddit users aren't the ones where people are going to be like, I bought a massive media package with Reddit because we're going to convert a ton of users to buy fucking Tide Pods. It's like, no, nobody here really gives a shit.
Totally. Yeah, it's funny because there's on the surface, this message is like two things, right? Like you kind of see it and you go, we know this is about ads, right?
Right.
Like we get that, but it also is like
an
Reddit
insult.
has it's an insult. Reddit has a funny self-deprecating way about it, right? Yeah. Like everybody there is kind of a little self-deprecating. So Reddit,
you're like, I know, we're all in our basement.
You're like,
we're all in our basements.
We know we're all losers. Yeah.
Yeah. Duh.
Which is very funny.
Sorry.
That was on Reddit, or that was on Funny this past week. What are the top comments on that one? My daily affirmation.
I'm the least valuable user of any social network. Here's the truth though. I get sucked into Instagram ads. I've bought some stupid fucking things off Instagram.
You know what about Instagram ads though is I have noticed that the shit that they are selling is so odd most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of feel compelled to purchase it. Weird. It's
You're like I need it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I've never thought of that before. Okay. I mean, I did buy this Bang & Raincoat that I already knew kind of existed, but I was sent a lot of it on Instagram ads.
And you're like, I need this raincoat.
I mean, there's kind of an art to it. You know what I mean? And I think that sounds stupid because I don't like that I would be saying there's an art to advertising. It's beautiful art. Right?
You're like, I hate it, but it's the truth.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, I think for you to be sucked in to something that is kind of seemingly like it'll be one of those things where you'll be like, I don't know what kind of stuff you get sent, but I get sent stuff that's like filters for film editing in like packs that you can get for $30, right? And
it is interesting how it just all is different. It depends on it's kind of tells a lot about you what kind of ads you're being served on Instagram.
For sure. But I'll get something like that and I'll be like, well, you know what? I haven't edited film in about 10 years, but you know what? Yeah, I think I need that actually. I think that could be interesting. Right? And I don't know how it sucks me in like that. It's a strange thing.
It's weird.
It is weird.
I'm like one of those dumb people that I see like influencers wearing something and I'm like, oh, that $400 cardigan? Maybe I need to save up money, go hungry some days, and like penny pinch to get a $400 cardigan. Like, no, you don't need to do that. Like, fucking, you live in California, no sweater. You don't need a sweater in general. So like, don't spend that much money. But I still want to. So
I fully agree. I'm doing a speed test right now because the stream is seemingly a little choppy.
Ooh, choppy chops.
Fucking losers need to get your shit together, listeners. Oh, what in tarnation, guys? Hey, you know what? We might actually have a special guest today, which is we didn't anticipate this would come in, but I think my computer is just literally gonna explode right now. So I might actually. I wonder what happens if I leave the stream, dog. Does it keep you on it?
Try it, and I will be in charge of everything. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my stream where we get to talk only about The Sims 4 now that everybody's gone. Aw. Hey!
Ciao, ragazzi!
Look at you!
Ciao, ciao!
Oh my God, what are you up? What do you do? Look at the ocean!
Ciao.
Good Lord. Which city are you in right now?
Venezia,
Venice?
Italia.
God damn it. Be careful.
God damn it.
How are things going?
A lot of pickpockets, a lot of influenza, a lot of plague. A lot of plague.
Influenza is like a beautiful Italian word, you know?
Influenza.
Influenza.
I can only make this a short-lived trip because I have to get on a boat in like 5 minutes.
Oh, love it.
I know. It's romantic and just want to say hello.
That is so awesome. I've never been to Italy myself personally.
It's pretty good. I
It
mean,
looks
it's the best place.
amazing.
All the food is just delicious and carby and
What's the
relatively-
best thing you've eaten so far?
I mean, just like the generic pasta is like $9. It's like so cheap, and it's the best you've ever had. And the wine is like $2, and it's
Damn.
delicious. It's I mean, once you get here, it's the best. It's pretty
Dude,
cheap.
I would never want to go. You know what I remember hearing about Italy one time? That you could go for the same price of like a hip replacement in the US. You could go to Italy, live there for a year, get your hip replaced, fucking eat as much pasta as you want, then come home and you're still paying less than what you would have paid for a hip replacement.
That's like
here.
that's people do like medical holidays, right? Like they go to Thailand or Europe or
for their butt implants and stuff.
Or like a hipperectomy or whatever they're called.
Fuck yeah.
Not a hysterectomy, a hipperectomy.
A hipperectomy, which is a totally different thing. You take the hips out. You take them all out. Dude, right.
You replace them with a chair.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? My entire body has been like fucking implanted with a chair.
A Herman Miller chair, yeah.
I would do that.
Aaron Miller or whatever. Hey, I do have to go though, so sorry I can't stay.
No, this is such a treat. Thank you so much for jumping on. We had to get rid of It's Your Dad in order to make room for the bandwidth to get you on, but it was worth it. Look at you.
Tell everyone I said hello, and I'm sorry. It's a ditch and run here. It's an old
God.
It's an old Italian grab and run.
The old Italian grab and run. You guys have a blast. Have fun. Be safe on that boat. Don't tip over.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao.
Arrivederci.
Yeah. All right. That was Free Day. Welcome back to my one-person show. That was our man Free Day. He is living it up. And while we're waiting for It's Your Dad to come back, I thought I could show you guys a few things that I really love about my favorite subreddit right now, The Sims 4. Okay, so let me find the funniest one I saw last night. So my favorite thing about Sims 4 is...
What up? Sorry.
Oh, hi.
I think maybe all of the Instagram ads I'm buying or falling for, I'm just acquiring viruses.
Shit! I was about to show my favorite Sims 4 post. I was like, cool, now the guys are gone and we can just talk about Sims 4.
Now we can talk about girl stuff.
Yeah, Sims! Okay, this cracked me up. You guys, if you have not gone on the Sims 4 subreddit, just subscribe to it. It's fucking hilarious because so many times you'll see people being like, help, I don't know what happened. One of the many, many mods that I've downloaded for my game has like caused all of my animals, like all of my family pets, to turn into long weasels. So this is my favorite. This is the next picture.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
Those little legs.
So one really quick thing, just before I had to restart my computer, it is worth mentioning. Somebody had asked if this was episode 200. It's not. In theory, this is episode 199, but I actually think because Free Day is out, I would rather do a real 199, probably about The Sims.
Yes,
this is like a live stream, special. We're talking about some stuff.
This is like a 198.5.
Yeah, this is 198.5. I probably won't even post this as an episode. This might just be like a live stream special.
Oh, love it.
So I think just so everybody realizes that's probably what's going on.
I support it.
Cool.
Anyway, I'm glad we got to sneak that in. That's a little sneak preview of what we'll talk about for episode 199, guys.
The Weasel episode.
The Weasel episode.
Famed Weasel mod.
Oh
episode.
God. I love
everybody's looking forward to. All right, let's talk about this goddamn murder. Did you guys talk about it when I was gone?
No, we did not talk about it yet. So, first of all, Freed's doing great. He's eating a lot of pizza. We miss him.
I just heard him say "ciao" repeatedly. Is that the only
ciao,
word?
Ciao. Yes, and arrivederci. It worked great though. Like it sounded totally natural.
I love
Anyway.
Vacation free day is a fucking different thing entirely. This is actually, you know what? We had a in our like Reddit only or our hosts of Reddit only chat thread. Let's see if I'll post that photo that he sent us. Let's see of him. This is actually crazy. He's actually holding up the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
It's amazing.
Which is pretty crazy. It's crazy to think because it's a lot of responsibility on his side. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. I mean, whoa! Can you believe it?
Holy shit! Look at him go.
I know. So
look at his thumb.
I know. It's crazy that he is that strong. First of all.
Yeah.
And that the Leaning Tower of Pizza is that small. I like honestly had no idea. So
no tourists anywhere either, other than him.
I know. It's crazy.
I love that.
So,
great pick.
Powerful stuff. But that's
really
a little. That's if we had our shit together more, this would be on our Discord like every other podcast.
It would.
But we don't have a Discord because we don't
really
have
understand
one. It, so
it doesn't make sense.
Maybe someday. I actually do. I use Discord a little bit, and I when we did the Blaseball episode. Shout out by the way. I don't know if any of you in our stream were the ones who like went to the Blaseball subreddit and were just like, "Did you Reddit brought me here? Who's here for me? Who's here at the
It was
Blaseball
so cool
subreddit?"
to see that. We're like, "Oh my god!" Right on.
But thank you for that.
Go crabs.
You may not. Yeah. Go worms. As
go
I like
worms.
To say. Go worms. Anyway. Let's talk about murder.
Okay. So this is like a big deal that's kind of happened this week. There is. You want to intro this?
Well, I'll pull up the post because this is kind of the reason we even wanted to do this today. Originally, we were like 3 days in Italy. This isn't going to make sense. But then Dog and I was like, you know what, Dog, you and I can do this on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me pull up the chats are tough. There's so many stupid things in our
I know.
Oh my god. All right, here we go. This is it. All right, so this is the post that you actually have already seen because it's the back of my the back of our episode right now. Okay, so this is the post. So this is from this week. I saw it and I was like, huh, because this was just on Pix, right? And Pix, you know how it is on Pix, right? Pix it's kind of just a
kind of a catch-all.
Yeah, it's just a catch-all for anything. It can be literally anything, and most of the time, it's the kind of stuff that like Reddit noobs and moms totally fucking eat up, right? So just picture of pancakes in my son's first day of school.
Yeah,
right.
Son's
He's wearing
first day
a
of
Batman
school.
outfit, right? Like it's weird shit like that you're just like, yeah, okay, fucking losers.
Could be anything.
Could be anything. I saw this, and I was like, whoa, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And so I did a little digging. Excuse the pun. So FBI digging up the driveway near me related to the Crystal Rogers case in Kentucky is the title.
Like.
So. The top comment now is feds are starting to crank up the heat on the ex-boyfriend. That was not what it used to be. The top comment originally was I think this has something to do with the Crystal Rogers case. And then so everybody is starting to post about it. So I'm new to the Crystal Rogers situation. So for fellow newbies, she disappeared in 2015 and the only suspect in her disappearance was her boyfriend, Brooks Hauk, who was building homes in the area during the time of her disappearance. Right.
Suspicious.
Right.
So, in 2015, this woman, 35 years old, Crystal Rogers, was reported missing by her mother. And she hasn't been seen or heard from since July 3rd, 2015.
Oh, wait. So they don't even know if she's technically officially dead.
No, she's presumed dead, but they've never found a body. They've never found, what happened to her. All they know is that she was living with her boyfriend, Brooks Hauk, at the time, with whom she shares a child. And he claims that she was just, chilling, playing games on her phone. He went to bed. When he woke up, she was gone. They found
I
her
remember this.
empty car on the side of a road. Her purse, her phone, her keys were all inside. So people are like, obviously something fishy happened to her. It's a little suspicious. Anytime, like with true crime stuff, something that I have come to realize, anytime like you are the last person to see someone who's gone missing or who is now dead, it's like, guys, this is the person to look at first, and doubly so if it's her boyfriend. So the weird thing about this case is he was building houses all over the kind of community, which a lot of people were like, perfect opportunity to bury a body. He also had a brother who was a police officer in this town, who literally got fired for interfering with the case back in the day. So there's corruption.
Her dad died too, right?
And yes, in 2016, her father, who had been pushing to find out what happened to his daughter, Crystal, he goes out hunting and is shot in the chest, murdered. No one knows what happened. The family obviously thinks he was, not that he was like getting close to information about his daughter's disappearance, but more so that he was the kind of guy that was never going to stop looking. And he was like a dog with a bone. And all they know is someone shot him in the middle of the woods. So yeah, it's crazy. It's been a really long time since she went missing. And now it looks like last year, the FBI got involved. And that's when stuff starts happening, like that's when they started to execute search warrants on this Brooks guy's house, his brother's place. So that freaks me out anyway, because I'm like, okay, the FBI gets involved after 5 years, and suddenly all this stuff starts happening. It sounds like small town police were maybe not working as hard as they could have.
I tell you what, if you see this van, pull up.
Not a good move. Get out.
That is a scary looking thing.
That is so also, scary.
Shout out the Moore County News. Most read: infant survives for days on top of dead mother's body by gnawing on hand. Grandmother says.
Oh
what
my
in the world?
God.
At some point we might actually do an episode. We probably should have done this a long time ago, where we just like let the links take us where they go, right? And just click around on local news sites.
Love that.
Just go where it goes.
Yes.
Because this is like I'm kind of like FBI. Okay. Whoa, what is that story? I want to click it, right?
Teacher who fought more student was originally supposed to teach at Male High School. Don't forget about it.
Shot himself before pistol whipping man at McDonald's. Crazy stuff. Thrilling information. I know. But anyway, yeah. So that's the juice of the Crystal Rogers case. And then I saw this. This is where Reddit's fucking interesting, man. Reddit is the best. So I was catching up on information when I came across this 2-year-old comment. Seemingly, it must be on YouTube. This looks like it's from YouTube. All right, so check this shit out. So Brooks owns my neighborhood, and he had a lot of new houses built. Remember, this is 2 years ago. So think about this through the lens of like the FBI hasn't gotten involved yet. Nobody really knows what's happening, right? So Brooks owns my neighborhood, and he had a lot of new houses built whenever she disappeared. There's even a house that has a completely different colored driveway that he worked on than the rest of the house. Me and my mom believe that she's probably buried in the houses. Plus, no detectives or police officers have ever been in our neighborhood during this, and I don't think anybody has ever thought about it. But let's look at the case. As soon as it was reported, it was taken as a murder case, not a missing persons case. And this was during the time that Nick, which is very strange. Nick, Brooks's brother, was on the force, and whenever Brooks was talked to, he said, "I don't have anything to say. I really don't have anything to say because I don't know anything, so I don't have anything to say."
Oh, that doesn't sound suspicious.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I find it funny that he repeated himself so many times, because repetition is a sign of lying. Something to add on: a woman named Crystal Maupin was arrested for stealing the missing posters from around town. Well, guess what? She's Brooks' new girlfriend. A quote from Gary: "Why wouldn't she help? Why wouldn't she help? Why?
Why? Why wouldn't she help?
Why wouldn't
Why?
she help? Why wouldn't she give us all the support if she's innocent, as he says? And that's a very good point.
Yes.
Why would she be stealing signs from around town? All it does is make it seem more suspicious. And the fact that Nick
Yes.
called him in the middle of the interview, which got him fired, saying, "Don't tell them anything." So that was what happened. So in the middle of this interview, that seemingly this
Wow.
video is of, his brother called him and said, "Don't tell them anything." And they're just gonna screw you over. Makes it look pretty bad for both of them. So crazy.
Wow. This sounds like
Um,
police corruption up the wazoo, if you ask me.
Yes. This is very True Detective-y, but takes place in the suburbs.
The Burbs.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, so
Oh,
here's the drone footage of it happening. Also probably worth noting, I love, you buy this new home, you're just fucking, watching the Browns,
right? Watching the
drinking a
Browns.
drinking a Coors Light, long day at the fucking coal mines, right?
Yep.
And then knock on the door to be FBI, FBI.
That
They're just
black
like,
FBI evidence processing
"Oh, what
vehicle
is
shows.
happening?" And then, can you imagine if this happened when you were high, dude? This is why I don't
No.
smoke weed, right? It's because if
Yes.
you are fucking, I had a long day at work, I'm just gonna smoke a doob, watch fucking Two Men and a Baby, take the load off, right?
Yeah.
And you get a knock on
And
your
then it's
door,
like,
it's the FBI. Because first of all, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is the worst. This is the biggest nightmare in the history of nightmares for somebody that's
yeah.
high." This is like the thing that when you smoke weed for the first time, you think is gonna
You're
happen,
like,
and all of your friends are like, "Dude, you're just being paranoid. Don't even think
it'll
about it."
never
And then
happen.
it fucking happens. And then so you answer the door, your hands are sweating, you're freaking out. But then they're like, we this has nothing to do with you, but
We think
we
there's a
need to
fucking body
we
buried.
think there's a body in your driveway. We need to dig it up. So on top of the fucking bizarreness of that, it costs
It's
a lot
like,
of
do
money
they?
to redo a driveway,
That's what I'm
So
thinking. Did they pay to replace it then? Are you saddled with the bill?
that doesn't sound like the government I know.
No, it does
Um,
not.
so I imagine this person's now one driveway less than they had before.
Yeah.
And
Well, it looks
so,
like they have plenty of space for like several other driveways.
yeah,
That's the beauty of living in the burbs.
that is the beauty of living in the burbs. So
Ample
that's crazy.
parking. That is
Exactly, double parking.
insane. It's
Um,
it's pretty sad too. I mean, if you look at the interviews with the mom, this Crystal Rogers' mother, who's still alive and still hanging on for answers, she is like,
right.
this is devastating. Like, it's been years and years and years, and every time you get your hopes up, you're like terrified. Either I hope this is it in a way because then we'll have answers, but at the same time, then you know for sure definitively that your daughter's passed, her husband was murdered. Like, this poor woman, I hope they do find something so that at least they can get her some answers.
Right.
That would kill
Yeah,
me, just the not knowing,
So this is another comment that I saw that I was kind of like, this just spells, it's got documentary written all over it.
Ooh.
All right, so Dr. Spakaman, DOJ website has claims to fill for situations of damage to property. That bureaucratic paperwork, that's fucking terrible. So I'm in Louisville. This case has been so bizarre and tragic. I certainly hope they find some answers to give her family closure. Boring comment. The next comment, though, dude, bizarre doesn't even begin to describe Bardstown, which is where this is. Between the Ellis shooting, the absolute slaughter of the Netherland family, Crystal's suspicious as fuck disappearance, and then her dad ending up
Wow.
getting shot, I'd think I was reading about some cliche murder mystery conspiracy novel. Something hinky afoot in
Oh,
Kentucky, and it
jeez.
isn't a shoe.
Oh,
It ends with this
and
like
it isn't a shoe.
straight out of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's strange. So what's up with the Ellis shooting? Ellis shooting Bardstown. You want to look that up, Todd?
Yeah. So Ellis shooting, I'll find out. Let's see.
I love everybody also. You see this a lot. Whenever there's like crazy stuff, the comment is just like meth. It's a meth thing. Because we love meth on this pod. We
We
love the
love
we
it.
love the subreddit meth. None of us have done
Yes.
meth. I have no intention of doing meth, but we're fans of the meth subreddit. We think
We
that
love it.
we think meth heads are fucking part of our own. And if you're into meth, come on, hang out with us at
Come on
BYR.
over.
Hang out
Yeah.
with Brennan's music and the Boom King and Dr. Spakaman.
Yep. Okay,
Anyway,
so the Ellis shooting. Apparently, this is the same town, Bardstown, Kentucky. 8
yes.
years after. When was this? Okay, 8 years ago, Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis was murdered, and his killer still walks free. So he was shot and killed in 2013 in an ambush while he was driving home from work. He was taking an exit off the the freeway. He stopped to remove some tree branches that were crossing his path. The killers, believed to have shot him from a nearby hill, were plagued by the events of that night and why no one has been brought to justice, Police Assistant Chief Kevin Thompson said. There isn't a day goes by that we don't remember, honor, and talk about Jason. That is so sad. I read one line about this, but I wonder if the things that were like blocking his way were like, something to get him to stop. Anyway, that's pretty sad. And then at the same time, this information about the Netherlands murder. So
I can pull that one up on my screen.
Oh yeah, that one was like.
Are you looking at the oxygen one?
Yes. Fucked oxygen. Up, really fucked up.
Yeah. All happening in Bardstown.
Oh. It's horrible. So basically, it was like a gang initiation, and it was a 48-year-old mother and her 16-year-old daughter were murdered. They were tied to chairs and tortured in their home and then stabbed and murdered. That's horrifying.
Have identified no suspects or possible motives?
Wow.
How's that possible?
That's so insane.
Damn, gangs, chill out, dude. Find different.
Honest to God.
Wait, where is Bardstown like a bad place? I'm confused at why all these
what's going on with this place?
Things would happen because I don't know. I don't think where I'm from has gangs. I'm sure there are gangs, but they're not doing fucking this level of initiation.
No.
Bardstown.
I mean, God. Okay, so there was a podcast that came out about Bardstown a few years ago. Okay. If you guys want to dig into more of the like shit that's gone down here, let me see what it's called. It's called Bardstown, the most beautiful small town in America. And they're all these fucking unsolved murders. It's the Crystal Rogers murder, her father, Tommy Ballard, who was murdered. The poor police officer trying to get shit out of the street was murdered. Now we got this mom and her daughter were murdered. It's like those are five murders that are completely like no one knows what's going on. That's crazy.
It seems quaint as shit though, man. Like look at this. This is their company website, or this is their town website.
What?
Look at this.
Oh my God.
This is like a Pinterest board, man.
Craft bourbon, bed and breakfast.
Get out of here.
Apple orchards. I mean, this looks like a lovely town. What the fuck's going on here?
This is their. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. I mean, this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. This does not strike me as. I'm gonna look at their Instagram. Maybe their Instagram. Maybe we can solve this by looking at their Instagram page.
I bet we can.
Visit Bardstown. I mean, look at this quaint ass little fucking bullshit. God damn it.
Very freaking mysterious. Okay.
I mean, it looks like bourbon is their thing. They got trains. They got churches, maybe. African American Heritage Museum. Yeah, I mean, nothing here. I'm seeing a lot of white people, so
yeah,
seems very like maybe college town gentrification land energy.
Yeah. Hey, if you're out there and you live in Bardstown, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah, shout out all of our fans in Bardstown. Is Bardstown where Jim Beam is based? No.
Let me see. Let me see. You know what? It's
Well, they're making a big
not,
to
but
do
close.
about they're making a big to do about bourbon.
Yeah, it looks like it
So,
must be near it.
huh,
Claremont, Kentucky is where the Jim Beam still house is.
I don't
Which,
get it.
oh yeah, James Beam Distilling Company is in Claremont, but I guess it's near Bardstown. Damn, you guys, things to do in Bardstown. Let's see.
Crazy.
We got
Um,
attractions. We got entertainment. All right, cool, cool. I don't think I'm gonna go there right now, but
wait.
maybe.
So interesting. So there is actually digging this up even more. So this is why I found this post so interesting to begin with, is because I am noticing that there's just we have a funny thing we're doing as a society right now. Like we are obsessed with crime documentaries,
Yeah,
and I get it to a degree. They are fun, but I'm also a little bit like it's a little suspicious, you know. Not that I think that Oxygen instigated the crime
right.
necessarily, Oxygen Network,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think that there is an interesting thing that is seemingly happening. So this is a 5-part documentary
Ooh.
called "The Disappearance of Crystal Rogers" that you can watch on Hulu, right? And this case is currently being investigated, and we're just like popcorn in hand, being like, "What's next? This is delightful," right? Which I'm
Weird.
kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. That feels very exploitive, right? It feels like
Yeah.
we've created a cottage industry. I mean, this actually is similar to something I've been noticing on the not Nextdoor, on the Citizen app. Have
Oh.
you do you still have the Citizen app?
I got rid of it because I kept getting alerts from people who didn't like the fact that people walking their dogs would put wrapped up dog poop in their garbage can that was out by the
Oh
road.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, we get those in our
sometimes,
neighborhood too.
which who cares? It's a garbage
I don't
can.
understand. I don't get it either, but people get so upset about
So
it.
mad. Like,
Um,
that's where I put my shit. And it's like,
yeah,
guys, come on. I'm sorry. That's a baby boomer
very,
attitude.
very. Oh, it's extremely baby boomer attitude. I'm also very confused by it. But the reason I bring it up is a couple things. So one, I got I get alerts all the time. We live in Los Angeles, so sometimes they're actually kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Because you end up having a lot of
Like,
like
if it was
like
around back in
fucking
the day, the OJ Simpson chase,
OJ
That's,
Simpson's case. I mean, you see a lot. Like, let me see what's on mine right now. Actually, there's probably some something
you know
insane
what
happening.
else I really find funny about Citizen app is I used to, when I had it, see a lot of posts that were like, has anybody seen my squirrel that comes to my backyard? And I'm like,
That's amazing.
they all look exactly the same. How would anybody know if it was your
My
squirrel?
squirrel in my backyard.
The one
Um,
squirrel that comes to my yard.
so I got a public health alert the other day. So here's some of the ones I have right now. So report of a man throwing rocks, 4 shot in West Hollywood. Um, shooting at Fox Hills Mall, right, which is the mall right up the street from us. So anyway, a lot of COVID information, yada yada. But I got a full on, well produced video the other day of a
Ooh,
PSA about the milk crate challenge, which
what's
I
that?
assume. Oh, you don't know what the milk crate challenge is?
No.
Holy shit! The milk crate challenge is the latest craze. Um, it is basically it's kind of the latest in the canon
Oh,
of insane
why?
of insane, like, you're gonna hurt yourself videos.
This
Um,
is so dumb.
dude, it's so brutal, and it's causing like it's causing people to get quite hurt.
Actually
Um,
injured, like very
like
injured.
actually proper injured. Here, I'm gonna
So
pull it
for
up though.
anyone who doesn't know what it is, you
I can't believe you guys
basically
don't. Maybe
take
I'm
a
just in.
bunch.
I think I'm in too many like depraved meme
Yeah,
accounts. Yeah.
that must be
So
it.
So it's literally you just
Whoa.
stack up milk crates and you try to walk across the milk crates. And
Why?
like not I don't think this is a not safe for work warning, but this is a if you are squeamish and you don't like watching skateboarders fall and shit like that, you're definitely not gonna like this, right?
Oh,
So it's just people falling and hurting themselves over and over and over again. And
people
it's
are
it's
fucking idiots. I'm
it's
sorry.
awesome. People really, really get hurt, but it's also really funny
Oh
every
my
time.
god. No, no,
Um,
no, 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 don't. Ah!
that was a pretty good role, actually. He did a pretty good job.
He saved himself. Oh!
He did a good job. Oh,
Ow!
ooh, tough. But anyway, so I'm getting I got an alert from Citizen, a really well produced video saying, "Hey PSA, don't do the milk crate challenge," right?
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of like, "Damn, Citizen, A, appreciate you looking out, I guess, but B, like they're building a business model around like public safety
Oh.
in a way that then implies that the more unsafe society is, the better their business becomes. Because if
Hmm.
we live in a society where nothing bad is happening, Citizen doesn't have anything to make or
Yeah.
protect us against, and people aren't using it, right? Which is just
Mm.
is bad, is complex, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they also now, so when I open Citizen, um, when I open Citizen, I also get something on my screen that says "Get Agent," and I can sign up for a premium version of this that I can have an agent assigned to me that like escalates to 911 when needed and sends first responders to your exact location. Act as a second set of eyes and ears monitoring your location, audio and video. Create a public incident and notify nearby citizen members. Connect with your family and friends to keep them updated on your situation. So literally, I can just have somebody assigned to me that is
It
that
seems like a
it's sketchy,
nightmare.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
For
really
a
weird, sketchy
company,
thing.
how do you deal with the liability issue, you know?
I have no fucking idea, but I've
I
also
signed
seen
up for this
there
and
were
911 didn't get here fast enough. Fuck,
dude,
like
totally. In Citizen app private, they also have a private security company now.
what?
So I saw this the other day. That was fucking nuts, man. Like literally police state through an app, right? So Citizen Crime app shifts to testing a private security on demand feature.
No. No.
So once upon a time, the Citizen app was known as Vigilante, a title so provocative that Apple banned it from the App Store and initiated a rebranding. So in 2017, it launched an app built on warning people about nearby emergencies and documenting incidents in the name of transparency. Yada yada, right?
Dude.
According to a former employee, the next step is to create a privatized secondary emergency response network that connects users to private security firms directly. A spokesperson
No.
referred to the security vehicles as a part of a personal rapid response service.
No.
So, um,
I hope
so
this
just last
crashes and
Saturday,
burns.
the Citizen app targeted a homeless man by posting his picture during a live broadcast, painting him as an arsonist suspected of causing wildfires and promising a $30,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Do you remember when Reddit tried to catch the Boston
Yes.
bomber? Like
Yes.
this is that from Zuckerberg, right? This is
How
like
the
a
fuck?
institutional. I know. It's fucking
The fact
insane.
that it's finding a way to kind of bring like private security firms, like having them operate within the United States, like it's
Dude,
terrifying operating anywhere, but it's fucking scary to think like if I pick up my dog's poop, put it in a
right,
bag. I'm not a fucking monster. I'm
right,
not putting it in a trash can with no bag. And I put it in someone's garbage can that's out on the side of the street because it's garbage.
right.
They could hire a private security firm to come and beat
Right.
me up.
Yeah. Yeah, just serve you papers. I mean, it should be called Narc. That should be the name of
Yes.
the app. The Narc
Narc.
app.
Narc assholes.
It's
God.
insane. It's a really bizarre thing that, like, I've had a
God.
couple moments like this during quarantine where I kind of take a moment and I'm just like, what in the fuck? And like the
Yeah.
first time, like, so this is a big one, right? Where I kind of am like, oh God, Citizen, this is scary, dude. Because
Yeah.
if you, I mean, also think of the implications of like the like gentrification privilege idea of like
Yes.
you being able to hire your own private security on
Yes.
demand when you're
It's
fucking don't
making
like
it's
something. Like,
arming Karens with their own private security firm.
yeah, totally. It's crazy.
And
And
you're right.
so
It's people who can afford a premium have their own private police.
come on. Like that's
Fuck
insane.
off.
One of the most insane things I've ever heard. I mean, they're going to
Yeah,
get their asses shut down. Like,
they
there's no way this
should.
app is going to continue.
Ugh,
But I remember
it's
also seeing.
ridiculous.
Have you seen the delivery robots around?
I have not. Is that like from
I
those fucking Domino's commercials where it's like
Droid
driverless
or whatever.
delivery? Yeah, I
No,
hate those.
there are delivery robot Los Angeles. Let's see if I can find them. I want to say it was Uber Eats, maybe.
Ooh.
KiwiBot, maybe. Let's see. I saw one when I was just wandering around. I was like going to get a sandwich or some bullshit,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it was one of these motherfuckers, man. And I saw this, but it was a little bit more extravagant than this. I remember seeing something like this, but it was a little bit more like shocking.
Yeah.
Um, this is a delivery robot. It was this one. I saw one that was like this, the Postmates delivery robot. I was just walking around, just walking on the streets, and this thing just rolls by me, and I'm just like, "What the hell is this?" Right?
What?
And then I look at it and I look closer, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is an autonomous robot that's roaming the streets delivering food to people on its own." And I
No.
was like, "Whoa!" And also, by the way, this was happening. This was happening when right after the like riots, right? So
Oh
this
my
was on
God, yeah.
Fairfax, right? Where literally it is the robot is just passing all of these like fucking nuked out buildings that
Dude.
are covered in plywood because they got their windows bust in. And then LA has this terrible houseless problem, right?
Yeah.
So we have all these people that are in the streets, and then this fucking delivery robot
It's
is
like
just wandering around. Yeah, it's
eat,
just like,
eat.
excuse me, right, with somebody's meatball sub in there that they're going to deliver to somebody in West Hollywood. I was just like,
It
this is
is a
too much.
dark
It's too much. Yeah.
futurology. This is
I
not
love it.
fun. This
Brings
reminds
me
me of
joy.
this story from many, many, many years ago when these
Oh,
people
right.
invented.
I
This
remember
is
this.
one of my favorite social experiments of all time. These Canadians invented this robot called Hitchbot and then
Right.
decided they were going to experiment to see if Hitchbot could make friends with real humans and hitchhike its way from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. And it got beheaded in Philadelphia. Like day 4. Like somebody fucking murdered Hitchbot in
Absolutely love
Philly.
it. Insane. Like
And we all know,
typical
like,
Philly.
if it's
Come
gonna
on,
happen,
Philly.
it's gonna happen in Philly.
I know. I love it. So funny, dude. So insane. Anyway, yeah, so that is that's the juice right now.
Hey, that's
I
the juice.
have a hard out at 9, so I'm gonna have to jump off.
Yeah, man. Well, I'd like to stick around and talk to you guys, answer questions about this. No, I'm kidding. I gotta go too.
But we'll do this again. We're gonna come back. Like I said, in theory, this is episode 199, but we're actually not gonna call this 199 because we'd rather have Free to be a part of it, and ideally do it in person because I just think the sound is typically better, and I enjoy the editing process of that. But anyway, we will be back as a little front page review. This is Did You Reddit, a weekly podcast about the internet. By way of right at the front page of the internet. My name is It's Your Dad. It's your Dank today. I'm It's Your Dank.
It's your Dank. I'm Dog Danks. Dank boobs. Dog
Coming
boobs.
live.
Coming
live from Bardesville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Investigating the Crystal Rogers case on our own.
Yeah.
If you have any tips, call us at
Call us, call the FBI. Let's get this fucker.
420
It's clearly Brooks.
69 420. Yeah, it's clearly Brooks. We'll keep you posted. If we hear anything, if you guys hear anything, let us know. We're on this case together. Bye, Spakaman. Bye, Boom King. Bye, Brennan's Music. Thank y'all. Talk soon.
Love you. Thank you.
Love you guys.